Hey, everyone. How's it going? Happy Friday, or whenever you're seeing this. It's Friday for us. We are doing what we call our Relaxed Fit episodes. So we're certainly not as buttoned up and straight laced as we usually are when we're talking to our guests. We're doing what we do best. We're discussing our dollar bin finds. So, Oren, go right ahead. You take it away.
Thank you, Joseph. Lovely introduction. So, a few more of my dollar bin finds. One of them here, Justice League America, number 121. Show it to the camera.
Nice.
Now, I just remember getting these books. I mean, this is past when I was, born. My dad would get them for me. But anytime with Justice League, when I'd see the roster on the top, or sometimes they do it down the sides, I thought that's like the quintessential of how a comic book should look. And these are just a great series of books. This one, it's the marriage of Adam Strange and a woman whose name I just forgot. And I knew it, and I was going to write it down, and I didn't. And now I look like an idiot. But, it's a solid book.
As I recall, you got a bunch of those ones with the circle, like on the side. You got a bunch of those last year.
Yep. Yeah. Anytime I see old JLA books, I jump on them immediately. I just think they're fun, man.
Yeah.
Next one, Superman 333, Bizarro, hero or villain? Now, Joe, as you can tell by your Superman poster behind you, your Superman shirt, your Superman tattoo, quick thoughts, Bizarro.
I think at times he's been done well.
Okay.
Other times not so much. Recently, he was actually part of the Suicide Squad or some team. They gave him, so he wasn't so doofy. They gave him a beard, like a goatee, a mohawk, and they gave him a little bit more edge rather than just edge, meaning personality wise versus, like squared off features.
Right.
And I think he spoilers, I don't remember what comic it was, but he ended up like sacrificing himself for the team to do something. It was like, again, it was another comic that I didn't particularly read, but I want to say Suicide Squad-ish, something like that. So it was pretty cool. They kind of did more than the usual me not like him type thing.
Exactly.
So, he has potential to be a really interesting character. They did something way back. Oh man, I'm really gonna murder this, but Bizarro was a clone of Superman. I don't think they really deviated too much from that. Lex Luthor created him as his version of Superman, and he actually created some kind of attachment to him, and when that version of Bizarro is dying, you see some actually sorrow from Luthor as he was dying, and you could see that he was actually genuinely hurt. But then again, like, he opened up a door and there's like a whole like room full of other versions of him being grown. At any rate, but it was a compelling story outside of the box for those type of characters. So
No, I agree. I always liked them as a character, especially when they don't make him overly dumb or he's not almost comic relief.
Right.
I think there is a lot to him about his right and wrong.
Yeah.
Being different than Superman's, but he's not trying to do bad. It's just that's his sense of right and wrong. So that's our little Bizarro talk for the day.
Yeah. No, he's an interesting character. I mean, if you remember, like, they've done a lot with him over the years, rather than just the Super Friends version, who's come from a cube planet versus a spherical planet, and everyone's Bizarro version. So, interesting.
It was funny as a kid, but looking back now, it's like
it's a little doofy. But then again, look at what we read.
This is true. The next one, DC Comics presents number 59. Now, this one is for our buddies Allie and George because they are Legion fans, and I know the Legion of Substitute Heroes was, I guess, a trying time for Legion fans. So I'm curious to see what they have thoughts on this. And of course, this gentleman Howard, who owned it, wrote James Bond 007, Blue Eyes, Robin Boy Wonder on the cover, so it's autographed by
That's
Howard.
interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, good job, Howard.
yeah, he really had some insight onto this.
What are your thoughts on Legion of Superheroes?
Never got into them.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you too much about them. I have, a few books, and I have a bunch of the like small book size, the digests of Legion Superheroes, and I've read them, and they're okay. They're sort of like the JLA, except lesser known. But I know a lot of people are really into them. It's just I never really got hooked on them.
Yeah, they seem to be one of these teams that seem to be somewhat polarizing. You either love them or you don't.
Right.
I know that the few that I've read have been interesting, but they haven't been compelling enough for me to start collecting them long term.
Right.
I do like Starman. So when they introduced Starman's character into the regular continuity a few years back, and he was one of the catalysts that brought Barry Allen back full time, really liked what they did with his character. I mean, he was a bit, I guess, as a character, he was a bit crazy, but there was no reason why, and they kind of go into the reason why he was like that, and it's explained in the story. So that in that respect, it was good, but it never really caught my attention. And it seems like they're always not rebooting it, but the series ends and then it restarts, and so that kind of.
When we were kids, we didn't really see. There weren't a ton of Legion books out there. Like you had JLA, but.
No, you had it was just a way of introducing Superboy, I think, because it was, Superboy was a part of the Legion of Superheroes. And then after Superboy, there was Mon-El, who was like another Kryptonian who ended up with the team.
They became Valor, right?
Maybe. I don't remember. Again, not my cup of tea, but
it's your wheelhouse. This one you suggested to me, New Mutants 24.
Yeah.
A fresh cover. I'll give it a read and see what it's all about. I wasn't huge into them. They changed so much dramatically towards the end. I mean, look at this group of kids here. Yeah. It ends with Cable and, with the Rob Liefeld jacked drawings and stuff like that. So
right.
See how it started to where it eventually.
Yeah, it was that was something I kind of liked the New Mutants for a little while when I read the comics, and I was really hoping that movie would really kind of ignite a fire in the New Mutants. I genuinely, I thought it was something different than the usual X-Men.
Right.
But
stumbled out of the gates.
Yep.
Captain America 353, him taking on Supreme Soviets.
What more do you need?
Fighting Russians. I'll read that every day.
Well,
no offense to Russians.
No.
That's just bad guy comic book Russians, I'm saying. It's like
the October Guard of G.I. Joe.
Right. Who eventually became friends.
Yeah, no, they were friends. They started off. Shows. Yeah.
Avengers 203. This one features Beast and Wonder Man, and of course the loveliness of Wonder Man wearing his red jacket, turtleneck, and sunglasses because he is a movie star.
Yep.
That was it's a timeless look, and one that I think, more superheroes should be dressing nicer.
Yeah, I agree.
You're going out in public.
No reason to look like a dipshit.
Right. Get it together. This is a spec book. And yes, I do collect some spec books because I one day would like to make money off my comics if I had to sell them, or my children do. This is What If Phoenix Rose Again. The spec in this book is it's a first sort of cameo appearance of Omega Red.
Okay.
Who is rumored to be in some movies coming up or shows. World's Finest 249. Superman's become a vampire. Now, I just read another comic that I picked up with Batman and Superman fighting Dracula and Frankenstein. And it turns out they are the real Dracula and Frankenstein who've been banished by the Phantom Stranger to a different dimension. Some lady inadvertently brought them back. They tried to drink Superman's blood to become the most powerful vampire of all time. Of course, it didn't happen. So this, I have to see if it's a continuation of it, because you can't have a vampire Superman.
Yeah, I recall a few stories of Superman taking on Dracula, and as a, and I could be wrong about this. Since Superman is powered by the solar radiation,
Mhm.
Dracula bites him and basically like explodes or something.
That's actually clever. All right, I can get
Well, I
behind
mean, it makes sense, but
that. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
Whatever.
just funny because Marvel at the time had Dracula. They had the names to Dracula, so they had to make this one different in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, of course.
What if 21 Spider-Man had married the Black Cat? Easy answer. He wouldn't be married to Mary Jane. Done.
And
Comic book
credit.
itself.
Credits.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened. Marvel team ups, which I like. Spider-Man, the Black Panther. This is number 87. For some reason, Black Panther in a helicopter shooting glass shards out of a machine gun at Spider-Man. I'm curious to see how that happens.
It's Wakanda. He has technology.
True. There had to be a misunderstanding between the two of them, but why?
Right.
That's what I got to find out. Book I think I have already. Solo Avengers starring Hawkeye and Moon Knight. I remember seeing this. I read it and I dug it, but I just wanted to grab another one. I know number one is an early drawing of Jim Lee, but this one, I guess I just had a senior moment and picked it up again. DC Comics number 63, Superman and Amethyst. Now, once again, Allie's been talking to me about Amethyst. I guess she's coming back.
Yeah, she's been in stories. She has her own series now, as I recall.
All right, because I know in the 80s she had one. I picked up a couple of those books. They're okay. It is what it is. But Ernie Conlon art, just curious to see how these two interact. This is sort of like the Marvel team-ups of DC.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they brought her back recently with the Young Teen Titans or whatever version there is now. So somehow the Titans or that version of the Titans get pulled into Jewel World, wherever that exists, and Amethyst is a part of that world. Okay. And hilarity ensues. Actually, it wasn't bad because I like the Titans because they're really good characters, and they, like I said before in one of our previous conversations, they're evolving those characters constantly.
Right.
So Tim Drake, he created a different persona and then realized, hey, I'm going to be this person. And, I liked it. And the biggest part of that series, they reincorporated the Superboy from the pre New 52 Superboy. So the one that came from the Death of Superman,
right?
That version that had been better explanation. The version that died in Infinite Crisis, that version was brought back in that comic, and it was really cool. All right. So, I don't know.
I remember with Death of Superman when he came back and he had the sunglasses and the leather jacket,
yep,
and the full body suit, and I was like, young people wear that, but
yeah, I mean, that look was kind of hokey, but I liked the character, and they big fan of the Superboy that joined, that was part of Young Justice, and then that Young Justice team turned into the Teen Titans. And he was basically, and people didn't like that design or version, but he was basically Superboy, and his outfit was a black and red Superman T-shirt with jeans, and he had like a buzz cut, and then you come to find out that the revelation is part of his DNA is Luthor's DNA. So,
and that's what they touched on the show Titans too, right?
Yes.
Yep. Figured. All right, Incredible Hulk. 370 featuring the original Defenders. This is Dale Keown art. I like the Defenders. Curious to see what this goes.
And Gray Hulk is always cool.
Yeah, Gray Hulk. That period of time, it was just such a funky time for the Hulk. Because McFarlane was doing this for a while, and then it jumped around a few other people. So
yeah,
I haven't got to that yet. This is Avengers West Coast to rescue the Vision. This is taken straight out of WandaVision.
Boom.
Yeah.
Or WandaVision is taken straight out of that.
Oh. That was a social faux pas.
That's all right.
I embarrassed myself and my family.
All right.
Web of Spider-Man, Giant Size Annual number 3. Everything you want to know about Spider-Man and much, much more. Too muches.
But what's the much more? That's what I want to know.
What's that extra much that they're putting in?
It's like kind of like Bed Bath and Beyond. I get the bed and the bath, but what's the beyond?
Yeah, where are we going to go with this?
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten through reading all these yet. I will, and when I do, I'll let you know what that extra much is. But I'm sure it's probably going to blow my mind.
Yeah, no,
I have
totally.
to sit down to read it.
Yeah,
because I will faint. So that's my little stack of comics.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump right into mine. So I when we were at our last comic store visitation, wherever the hell that place was.
It's Connecticut.
Connecticut, right.
Life's a Pitch in New Milford, Connecticut.
Life's a Pitch, New Milford, Connecticut.
Well,
I have to drive.
Cavern.
I have to drive an hour away to go to a comic book store now.
It's worth it, bro.
It was worth it. It was worth it. But I do.
It seems like I dragged you to like some pit somewhere, or it's like NFL super pros.
No. But still, what'd you do? Went to the comic book store. Oh yeah, where? Hour away. At any rate, it was a very fruitful visit, so I'm not knocking it. Someone in the conversation over my shoulder, someone was mentioning Darkhold, so I grabbed it. It just seemed timely because Darkhold was mentioned in WandaVision, and I'm sure people are going to start jumping all over that.
Yep.
I can't remember if I mentioned this one or if maybe you did last time. But it is Avengers 300, 64-page, spectacular. U.S. Agent and Fantastic Four and Thor and this guy.
He's got a name.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh.
That's Gilgamesh? Wait,
whoa.
What?
You can't jump over Avengers.
Are we done with that? I was talking about Gilgamesh and his fancy outfit. He looked like, was it that wrestler, Manti, whatever the fuck his name was?
His name was Mantor. And he was really good. Oh, hold on.
And I stand corrected. This wasn't U.S. Agent. This was actually Steve Rogers, but he wasn't called Captain America. He was called the Captain.
Yeah, he was just called Captain. Hold on. Let me just...
Go ahead.
Because we can always add. I just want to make sure it is. It is Gilgamesh. All right.
Gilgamesh, okay.
I just remember I got that comic. A guy I went to school with's brother had it, and he just gave it to me. He's like, "You want to take it?" And I remember reading it, and I'm like, "What a weird group of people to call the Avengers." You took someone from the Fantastic Four. I thought the Captain. I love that black and red suit. I think it's awesome. I think it's a pretty cool look. Right, and then they were like, "Oh, we have a strong team, and we have Thor. How do we round it out? How do we get that last piece?" They dig deep.
Gilgamesh,
a free agent.
Yeah,
you're gonna like that book. I like it. I love that book. I have, I think, 2 copies of it. I love it.
I haven't read it as yet. Look, I haven't read any of these things.
I know. Well, we just got them,
so. This one I always like. It is 0 Hour, number 4.
That's a really cool series that nobody really talks about that one a lot.
I like this one a lot. It was somehow, I think they described it as a reverberation of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
So it was connected to Crisis on Infinite Earths and somehow because it had to deal with multiverse and, Barry Allen dying again and whatnot. And the character I like, Wave Rider.
Yes.
He's in it. I don't know if anyone's a fan or is aware of that, but Wave Rider and Booster Gold and the other Linear Men, they're all related, not just in series, but as they're all like, so you come to find out, not in this series, but later on, that Wave Rider is a version of Booster Gold.
Oh, wow.
That somehow absorbed like these time powers or something, like time energy, and evolved him to what he is. It was a really cool story, and that's a different comic. Anyway, this one is awesome. This is it's a great Teen Titans number 30 with Terra.
Ooh.
So that's a big deal. George Perez.
Oh, that's beautiful, that cover.
Yeah, great cover. Great comic, because you come to find out that Terra actually is bad. She turns on him. And then I won't go through these individually, but they're a part of my never-ending fight to just collect as many Green Lanterns as possible. So,
Any older ones in there, or are they newer ones?
No, these are all, I mean, depending on what you call old. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. There are some with Hal Jordan and the green hair, with the gray hair.
Right.
This one is Emerald Dawn. This is always great.
Yep.
This one is Green Lantern fighting a version of Starro.
Yeah.
Or the Evil Star, excuse me. Now this, I'm digging on these because, so everyone knows, Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, but there's also Guy Gardner, and he's an interesting character because he was a Green Lantern when he was somehow the third choice after John Stewart, who was the second choice to receive the power ring. Guy Gardner was the third, and he became Green Lantern for a while back in the day. Now everyone's a Green Lantern, but then he lost his powers. He actually ended up getting Sinestro's ring, so he had Sinestro's yellow ring for a while, and then so he was Guy Gardner, warrior, but then somehow, and I don't remember it completely, he had his own powers from some type of ancestry where he could morph his skin into weapons.
Oh, wow. All right.
But then when Jeff Johns did Green Lantern Rebirth, basically just erased all of that and made it better. So yeah, that was I love that, but we won't go into that. And then last three here, I'm just going to go into, let's see, what if Rogue possessed the power of Thor?
Oh, that's a pretty cool concept.
It's yeah. The what ifs, I mean, even if I'm not the biggest diehard Marvel fan. I mean, I love Marvel, don't get me wrong, but what ifs I will always pick up because they're just some awesome stories.
Yeah.
And then let's see, Fantastic Four with Dr. Doom on the cover, always a winner in my view.
That was a great time for the 80s. They did some really solid Fantastic Four. I mean, I like the 70s stuff, the circle covers, but
yeah, well, I mean, I agree with you. There was some really good stuff from the Fantastic Four. They even, as I recall, they had Fantastic Four cartoon series for a while, akin to the kind of the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And yeah, those were my early being exposed to Fantastic Four. I liked it. Yeah.
The only hang up I had is that Ben Grimm just kept coming and going. Like I have a series where he gets fed up and he leaves, and then Power Man, Luke Cage joins for a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, we're so happy to have you," and then he gets jealous and they have an argument, and then he rejoins the team, and then the 80s he left again, and She-Hulk comes in, but
yeah, and then don't forget there was also a very short period of time where Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four with a paper bag over his head. I don't understand that, but it happened.
And what was the one in the 90s? It's like, here comes a new Fantastic Four. I think it was Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine, and Ghost Rider. I think just because they were so hot, those, especially Ghost Rider at the time, that it's like, we got to find a way to shoehorn him into every comic we can get.
I don't recall the lineup exactly, but they've changed and look, anyone who's listening to this, if you're hearing this, feel free to correct us. But they're always changing, not always, but the Fantastic Four goes through some lineup changes for a while, a few times over the years. They've changed their costumes. They went to the Future Foundation. So they were kind of moving away from Fantastic Four. And I think that was maybe because of some Marvel rights issues or something to that effect. So they changed it up. They're really not four anymore.
Oh,
They have
really?
kids. They're not four. So there's there's the usual lineup: Johnny Storm, Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, Ben Grimm, and then their kids. So Franklin Richards, who became Onslaught in that whole series, and then they have a daughter, and then there's other team members that come and go. So there's really more than just the Fantastic Four.
Right.
But someday we'll see him in a movie.
Yeah, as you say, I think earlier on, Franklin, I remember, because I stopped in the '90s. I remember something happening with the daughter, but yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is they pretty much stuck it out.
Yeah, the first family of comics.
We enjoy them. We're fans.
I'm fans. Yeah, I mean, they get ragged on all the time, but the first two movies I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
they're fun. They're fun. They're not hampered down with all the, we're like, okay, cool. We're going to have fun and we're going to smile. And oh, cool. There's the Silver Surfer. But we have Galactus. That's a big smoke cloud.
Yeah. And then you had that scene where Mr. Fantastic was like at a nightclub dancing.
Yeah, well, I think we know now that superheroes shouldn't dance in movies.
Yeah, don't dance. You're good at what you do.
Yeah.
Good at what you do. We'll just go from there. So that's what we got, folks. And
anyway,
when we have more stuff, we'll definitely let you know.
That's our Friday Relax Fit episode. A little short burst of comic book goodness for you on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Is it noon? Yeah, it's after 12. Yeah. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Oren, hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, pal. You too.
Thank you. So, yeah, all be well. Wash your hands. Wear a mask.
Like and subscribe.
Later.